Welcome back to the Football Tragics. I don't know about you, Morty, but after a 4-0 win for Spurs and a 6-0 win for Chelsea, I am glad the other two aren't here. I'm depressed. You're probably slightly more happy than me, but Morty, how are you doing this evening?
I'm all right, mate. It's a bit of recovery through the week, so not too bad.
All right. Well, we'll jump through it nice and quick. Obviously, we are here for the review of last round. Obviously, there were some big games. There was the Manchester City 2, Liverpool 2, Everton all but get their survival, but we'll jump straight into it. It's Newcastle 1, Wolves 0. Morty, is this a good win for Newcastle or is it more of a bad loss for the Wolves?
No, I think it's Newcastle just showing that they're going through the right motions. They are building a team, and they're looking and going. You know what? I think that they're probably going to start doing it right, and they're just playing with what they've got, and they're using these games now to look what they need to sign, not just that big headline signing that we all think they were gonna do, being with all that money. But they're just moving on up, and from relegation, they're small results go their way, they could be cracking top 10.
Yeah, 100%. And you said it right there. Obviously, they haven't gone out. They haven't signed that big star name player, which is a bit scary if you're the rest of the Premier League. They're doing this without signing big names, and they have a war chest that's bigger than anyone in the Premier League. So if you're a Newcastle fan, obviously, good times to come. If you're anyone from 10th down to maybe 4th, could be scary times that the challenge is about to come from Newcastle. But one team they don't have to challenge because they'll probably beat us if we play them again now. It's United, and we've gone down 1-0 to Everton. I don't even know what to say with this game. Obviously, it was the early kickoff. We do see some crazy results with the early kickoff, but it's nothing short than what we deserve. What was that?
It's our one chance to see Everton bloody drop, and United of all people have to go and lose to them.
The way I see it is we weren't going to challenge for the title. We're not going to probably challenge you guys when we play you guys at Anfield. So if this is our way to kind of tell Liverpool to go get fucked, well, this is our way we're going to take it. Bad performance for us. We now drop closer to that Conference League where, if I'm being honest, I'd rather not be in Europe at all. So, Morty, you're almost as unhappy as I am about this game, but give it to me. Talk to me about the game.
I don't think I would have been happy with the result either way here, but I don't know. I think it just speaks words to what's going on at United, and I'm hearing things come out that I don't know if they're even true or if you want to hear them, but like Pogba's on his way out, but I'm also hearing they're ready to offer him the biggest contract in the Premier League.
You've got $500K a week.
Yeah, like it's time to cut your ties with him. Not saying he's been bad or good or whatever, but it's not worked out. Like you bring in, the new manager looks to be going ahead. One positive sign, then Ronaldo goes and assaults the Everton kid, whatever it was. It's an up and down bloody roller coaster, and you don't know what's going to happen next, to be honest.
Yeah, obviously it is interesting. Obviously Ronaldo, who knows what's going to come out of that. It'll probably get swept under the rug, but it could be a suspension. We're not really too sure. Obviously, Erik ten Hag is favourite to come in as the new manager. Like you said, there's reports that Pogba's been offered $500K to stay. And there's also reports that if we don't make that top 4, he's not going to have a lot of money backed as a manager. So there's all reports up in the air at the moment. I don't know which way we're going to go. Obviously, if you are going to bring Ten Hag in, he wants to be backed, but it's a slippery slide at the moment, and it has been for a few years. So moving on to another side, because I'm sick of that, Morty. I'm not talking about them anymore. Watford 0, Leeds 3. It kind of puts them away from that relegation zone. It almost all but puts them into that safety position with, obviously, Norwich beating Burnley, but good result, Morty. Obviously, this was a relegation kind of battle, a big 6-pointer, and they've gone and taken the 3 points.
It shits me every time I see Leeds get up 3-0 because they look like on their day they could do it to anyone, but they just don't consistently put that on the park. But they can. So they're one of the most frustrating teams in the EPL because you just know they can do it, but they just can't every other day of the week. So yeah, other than that, like it's to be expected. Watford are going down. We pretty much know they are almost locked into that spot, and Leeds are just trying to find their way, I guess.
Yeah, well, it does put them, I think it's 9 points clear. So I don't see they're going to go down. There's not many games left, obviously. This is the round 32 preview. We will move into round 33 this weekend, but a big result here. I'm surprised Aaron's not on here because he probably would have gloated and talked about it for 25 minutes. Maybe it's because they lost in the Champions League and it kind of overshadowed this result, but it is Chelsea 6. It's Southampton 0. Kind of the way we saw it going, I didn't think it was going to be this high scoring. I did take the piss a little bit and say Southampton going to win. I think that was more hopes for my top 4, but Morty just an absolute clinic by Chelsea. And obviously they did carry this momentum into the Champions League and just fell short, but a good result nonetheless.
It's a great result. It's the inevitable Southampton thrashing of the year. Happens every year. And you know something's wrong when Werner's even getting on the score sheet. I mean, he did his best to miss, hit the bar, and then it was Havertz tapped in or Mount, one of the two. But they all got their goal. They all got their assist. It was terrible for fantasy unless you had every bloody Chelsea player. And it's about as much as can be said because Southampton again falling away at the end of the year. And I don't know, when do they start looking at a new manager? Because it just doesn't seem like he's getting it done. He's not improving. He's not falling, but he's not like they're not spending money either. Like they're signing. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, obviously not the best result by Southampton, but if you are going to cop results against the top teams and beat teams around you, I think if your ambitions are to stay in the Premier League, maybe challenge for that Conference Europa, then I think they're kind of in the right steps. So they will move forward. They do have to spend a bit of money, obviously. That back line just needs to have a bit of money thrown at it, kind of changed up a little bit. But one team that was flying high at the start of the season versus one team that was flying high till about 2-3 weeks ago. It's Arsenal 1, Brighton 2. I've been abused by Baxter. I'm sorry, Baxter, if you're listening to this. I will not say Arsenal are going to dominate at home again. I am sorry. That's the third time I've said it this year and the third time they've gone on to lose. So I'm sorry, but Morty, obviously this does open up the door for Spurs. It keeps that little ajar door open for United, but this was a team that was in the top 4, ahead of Spurs, 2 games in hand. They're now, I think, either equal on games with Spurs or only one behind. And if you have a look at the ladder quickly, so it is obviously one behind.
They're one behind.
They have a worse for and against. So with that game in hand, they will still be behind Tottenham. So there's a lot of praise towards Arteta. I'll ask you, how good they were playing. Is this a fail by Arsenal now dropping out of the top 4?
All Arsenal had to do is draw the rest of the season, and they probably would have held on to that 4th spot. Now they've given bloody Tottenham hope. They've had bed shits of all bed shits, and just everyone else is falling out around you. Like you had all you had to do was go into games, hold the draw, scrap a goal here or there, claim some points, and move on with it. But no, you go and lose to Brighton. It's not even like you lost to a 93rd minute Morpay again. Like they lost in normal time. They weren't even losing in. It was appalling, to be honest. And this is some rough games on the trot now for Arsenal, and
yeah. I mean, it was quite, I guess you could say, fortunate for Brighton. They did have 20 shots to 8 Arsenal. They had 65% possession, but that is Brighton. If you were going to play against the Brighton, you need to expect that they're going to sit back. They're going to absorb pressure. They're going to hit you on the counter and score. And obviously, Trossard did open the scoring. Is it Moipu, whatever his name is? He doubled the lead. And obviously, Odegaard. Yeah, obviously, Odegaard did obviously get that goal at the end to make it 2-1. But like we said before, yeah, the youth look brilliant, but are they going to start fatiguing? Have many of these players played a 38-game season, chucking on cup games? Obviously, there's no Europe, but maybe it's just that lack of experience, especially when you have Lacazette leading the line. It's a bit of a worry, but we will jump on to one team who we're going to breeze straight past this because you're not going to want to say anything nice, but it's Aston Villa 0, Tottenham 4, the front 3 fire again. Besides Kane, but he did do a lot with the ball at his feet. So, Morty, are you giving him praise? Do you think they've wrapped up top 4?
Do other teams need to start looking at it? If we just talked about Arsenal not lasting 38 games, do they just everyone need to shit the bed for the first 10 rounds and then just wake up all of a sudden like Tottenham seem to bloody do? But again, I don't give a shit. It's Tottenham. The Kings are putting pressure on. They'll crumble. They've got Arsenal last round this season. It's going to be a cracker. And I'll laugh when they shit the bed and finish 5th again. I'd love to see it.
Yeah, obviously we did just say how Brighton beat Arsenal. They do play Tottenham this weekend. So I think based on the result of that match, Tottenham may already have that top 4 settled because Arsenal are a big chance to lose points. We've spoken before how they haven't played big teams. Now, obviously, they do have Southampton this weekend, but then they go Chelsea, United, West Ham. So there is 3 big games in a row.
Tottenham
This
do
could all
have
up in
some
a
big
sign.
games too.
They do, but Tottenham also has an advantage. They got the points on the board.
But they've got a Liverpool with a fighting chance, and then Arsenal to finish the league. That's where Tottenham shit the bed. Let's be real.
Yeah, but I don't think Arsenal pick up enough points to not shit the bed before it gets there. So, you know what? Let's do what happened. What was it, 2 years ago, where everyone was talking shit and United kind of just stumbled in, did that Bradbury and finished third, just somehow on the final day. Let's call that in, and they both miss out. So we'll move on.
You
It's
mean for West
Leicester
Ham to do it?
Yeah. I mean, if West Ham do it, I'm happy. Get them in Europe. Get me out of Europe completely. I'll take it. Whatever it is, just don't put me in the Conference League, or I am not getting up Friday morning to watch. But we will move on. It's Leicester 2, Crystal Palace 1. Just like happens every week, we sit on the podcast, we give Zaha praise, we say how good they're playing, and they shit their bed. Morty, is this just something that Crystal Palace at the moment under Vieira just have to deal with? You're going to win a game, you're going to play brilliant, you're going to come out next week, you're going to lose, but don't worry, because in a week or 2 time, you're going to come back out and play brilliant.
I think it just shows he's got the right structure. He just needs some signings to help him get that consistent football in. Like, he's got the right players. You think, you know what? If I bring you on here with 30 minutes to go, you're going to do something. But for 90 minutes, those players just don't seem like he can get the job done. Like, they need. I think he knows what he's probably looking at signing. He'll bring them in, get the players on the park to score the goals, and just get a bit more consistency, a bit more structure at the back. But they're week in, week out. They're playing the same structure. They're playing the same ball. They know what they're doing. They're just lacking that bit of talent, bit of luck, whatever it may be. Just that little bit something else. And there's not much else to say. They've done very well considering what we all sit here and say Zaha's leaving Palace every year. So this year I finally might sit here and say Zaha has a future at Palace.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, I don't think there's going to be too many people looking at him if you look at the basis of his whole season. But a team that obviously didn't get much luck this weekend, obviously Norwich 2, Burnley 0. Not only did that really horrible shit performance from United give Everton the 3 points, this was Burnley's chance to kind of stay in touch with them, and they obviously have blown that. Norwich have won. It does now give Norwich a sniff. Morty, please tell me Norwich aren't surviving. Just please. Tell me there is no way. I know it's mathematically possible still, but please just tell me there's no way Norwich are staying up.
I can't tell you that when they got United next.
Oh boy, it's the early kickoff as well. It's the early kickoff.
Nah, I don't think there is a way, because even if they manage something, they've still got some rough games ahead. I think that bottom 3 is settled down. I think that this was the weekend that's gone. Nah, Everton have put that little bit clear. Burnley have fallen behind. They've now got to win 2 on the trot, and Everton have got to drop points in both games to be back even to that point again. And with the runs they're going, I know where Everton's not making points up, but I just don't know where Burnley are going to find the points. And same goes for Watford and Norwich. They've got 3 games to make up. I don't see it happening.
Yeah, it's actually funny. Obviously, we sit here and we say how Everton. If you look at that bottom of the table, and if we're being realistic, it probably still is Leeds to an extent. Obviously, they have played 32 games. They are only 9 points clear of Burnley, and Burnley have 2 games in hand. So it'll be interesting to see, obviously, how that run goes. But
yeah, but have you seen Everton's run? If anyone's dying, it's them. They've got Leicester, Liverpool, Chelsea. Leicester again.
But a team fighting for survival, you don't know what's going to happen. But like you said, I think that bottom 3 is also set in stone. We said it a couple of weeks ago. We've kind of flip-flopped here and there for that bit of excitement, but let's be honest. I think all three of those teams are gone, but another team that somehow continues to impress, a team that drops point, it's Brentford 2, West Ham 0. Where do West Ham go from here? Obviously, it's another big game. Obviously, they did beat Chelsea. They've now gone on to beat West Ham. West Ham do have Europa tomorrow now. They are sitting in sixth. They are playing Lyon tomorrow. It is a 1-1 draw. Are you putting all your eggs in that Europa League? Try and get into Champions League? Like, you're not making top four. So at worst, you're going to be in the Conference League, probably the Europa League anyway. Do you try and win it, get some silverware, automatic qualification?
I think you do, because no matter what, I don't think they're going to finish any lower than where they are if they continue on. But I don't think they're going to. If they threw all their eggs in the EPL basket, they're not going to finish any higher. They're going to rely on others to fall around them. I think they're going to. We can look back at it and go, they've done very well this season. They're still in Europe to this point, which can't be said about some others. Tottenham, after being in the easy one, and yet they're doing what they can. They've done amazing for what they've had. Like, we all sat here and said Antonio was their striker. He hasn't been seen since round 3 on the score sheet in that respect, and they just keep putting up, turning up. Yes, they're gonna have some losses here or there, but we expected 10 times this from them. So yeah, throw it all into Europe, get whatever you can, make the signings from that. That's the best way foot forward. Even if they don't, even if they end up losing in the final, they'll have at least gained some traction to get some bigger names to that club to help them then move on forward. They can go, look, we made it here. We need you to take us to that trophy, and the players can come for that, so to speak.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, we do wish them all the luck tomorrow. Leicester will take on PSV in the Conference League. So both teams still have a lot to fight for. It does mean automatic qualification in the league above you, where for Leicester at the moment, they're not making Europe. So that could be a big win for them. And like we said, with West Ham, they are not making the Champions League from the league. So that could be another result. But arguably the biggest game. A lot of the time, Morty, we don't see these games produce absolute crackers. Now, both teams, I don't think, were at their best. I think City were the better team. However, Liverpool can be very happy that they played the way they played and still came away with the draw. Obviously, there were some controversial calls. I'm not going to go too much into it, but if you want to, you can. But it is Manchester City 2, Liverpool 2. There was a lot of injuries that come out this week, obviously, from this game, from the Champions League game for Man City. Where do you see the title race going from here? And then talk me through what your thoughts were on this game.
I can't be happy with a 2-2 draw. I mean, we've drawn to them twice this season. It's not like we haven't put our best foot forward and hoping for a draw, but it just looks like we were not complacent, but like we're always chasing the goal down. But City looked like as soon as they scored, they became complacent. Liverpool caught up. City scored again, complacent. We caught up, and then we both kind of just were too scared to attack either way, because it just meant that the other one. I don't know. I don't know what to take from it, because now we've obviously got to hope on City losing points to someone else. I mean, the job was ours to do, but I don't know. I don't know what to take of it, because yes, there's still a few more games. It's not like this is 3 games out for the end of the season and it's do or die. But yeah, I don't know. I would have liked to see a more clinical Liverpool, and Fabinho didn't have his best game. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. We just look shaky. City also look shaky. I mean, KDB, take him out of that squad, and I genuinely think City probably would not have scored that game, because they just looked lackluster. Jesus come up with his jammy little crap, like, just piss off with that. But like, rolls around on the floor more times than I can count. So we move on. We get on with it.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Obviously, we do see that you're both still in the Champions League, so you both have each other. Is it in the Cup this weekend? Is that this weekend, the Cup?
Yeah. FA Cup.
You'll then go on to face, obviously, you guys do have Villarreal. They do have Real Madrid. So that could potentially still play a pivotal tie in who actually wins the league, who puts more into that basket, who can do the job in the first leg. And if it is going to be a team, it probably will be Liverpool that can do the damage to Villarreal. However, we've seen it in the Europa League final. We saw what they did against Bayern. They can stick around. They can be absolute pricks, and they can hit fast on the counter. So, Morty, give me your two predictions for those two ties. Are you going, obviously, Liverpool? We'll take that one off. You're saying Liverpool are making it, or do you think there is a chance there could be an upset?
Yeah, the FA Cup or the...
No, I'm talking about Champions League. I want to hear Champions League.
No, I think Liverpool are the Achilles heel to most teams in Europe because of the way we play, and I think the Premier League teams are the only teams that can kind of counter that because they're used to the rough and tough sort of thing. Everyone else likes playing that free flowing ball outside of England, and Liverpool come with that. Every player on that pitch can go for 95 minutes without breaking a sweat, and they'll be at you the whole time. I think it's why we do so well in Europe, because we have the perfect counter almost to most Spanish sides to what it is, and I think it's what we do best. But again, Villarreal are doing wonders, and just like to point out as well, every player that Tottenham sent out on loan are actually still in Europe.
He went there. He went there.
I did the drop that down. It just reminded me when we mentioned Leon, because that was 3 players. They're all in Europe, so got on.
All right, well, pick obviously Liverpool. We'll say Liverpool's going through. I don't think you're going to go unbiased against that. But if you had to just pick a team right now, City or Madrid, who are you facing in the final, and who would you prefer to face in the final?
There's no good answer here. We're gonna have to play City at least once more in the FA Cup, and I'd prefer not to play them again in the final of the Champions League because, yeah, I think it'll almost turn into one of us is getting the Prem and one of us is getting the Champions League, and that game will be the determined factor of it. Madrid, again, you've seen they've done it to us in the Champions League final before, and they can do it again. So, yeah, I'd rather play Madrid because kind of like Madrid now. The flops have gone. I don't have to hate them so much now, and yeah, it's good to see Benzema actually getting some reward for being how good he is.
All right. Well, we will talk about obviously Benzema. I do have a question, but we'll leave that for the next podcast. Obviously, we have been the Football Tragics. We will be back with the Matchday 33 preview. But Morty, thank you as always for joining me, and I'll see you soon.
All right.